My name is Carla Ostwinch, and I am a director with Scentsy and a First Steps to Success graduate. And it is my pleasure to introduce you to the company orientation. Prior to getting started in Scentsy, I worked in the medical field. And I spent a lot of money and a lot of time to get the education to get into that career. And once I got to that career, guess what? I hated it. It was not what I expected. It was get people in, get them out, and the caring just didn't seem to be there, and it was long hours. It was hours away from my family, and I desperately wanted more time with my family. And on top of all of it, I was living paycheck to paycheck. Can you relate? Anybody working long hours in a job you hate, living paycheck to paycheck? I didn't feel there was any hope until somebody introduced me to Scentsy, and then I found hope. And now I'm in a career that I love, and I have time with my family. So let me tell you about the company. It is a 16-year-old company. Its revenues last year were $472 million. It's expected to triple that this year. We have hundreds of thousands of representatives internationally. We're operating in 12 different countries: Australia, New Zealand, UK, France, Mexico, Canada, just to name a few. We have millions of clients that are satisfied, and because of their satisfaction, they actually refer business to us on a regular basis. We are debt-free and we're profitable. We've been featured on the Today Show and in Forbes, and that's just to name a few. The founders of our company, as we have it today, is Orville and Heidi Thompson. We are like-minded entrepreneurs that capitalize on up-and-coming market trends. And one of the hottest trends today is fragrance. Think about it. Americans spend billions on fragrance and cleaning products. We have those too. Who do you know that wants their home to smell better? They don't want it to smell like smoke or dog or kitty litter or BO. Who do you know that wants their car to smell better, their pets to smell better, themselves to smell better? If you know a truck driver, they almost certainly want their cabs to smell better. We have solutions to almost any fragrance problem. And I could talk about our products all day long, but instead I'm going to tell you about a couple of our clients' experiences. So I'm going to tell you about Jolie. Jolie has cats and she loves fragrance. One day she set a flamed candle up and one of her cats walked past it, and you can guess it, the tail caught on fire. That cat went right underneath a couch, and they got it out, thank goodness. Their couch is safe, their house is safe, and most importantly, the cat is safe. But if nobody was there, just think about it. That house could have went up in flames. And by the way, the number one cause of house fire is open flames. You can look in any newspaper and you'll see anything about house fires. Usually it's an open flame candle. Scentsy was designed to be a safe alternative to the open flame. We're the original, and in my opinion, still the best wax warmer out there. We were made for the safety of your family. So let me tell you about Tennille. Oh, by the way, Jolie is using Scentsy, and she has for 10 years with no problems, and she loves it. Tennille, when her son was 1.5, 2 years old, he got a 3-degree burn from an open flame candle. She swore she would never use fragrance again, not if it was going to hurt her family. Then somebody introduced her to Scentsy. See, her son can go up to it, and he can keep his finger in there all day long, and it won't burn him. It doesn't get scalding hot. It's formulated to only warm enough to warm the fragrance to let it out. So you can stand there all day long. Your child can stand there all day long. A pet knocks it over, you knock it on yourself, your child knocks it over on them. You're not going to get a severe burn because it's only formulated to warm. Let me tell you about Susie. Susie likes warmers, but she loves diffusers. And she says, Scentsi's diffusers are the best because they are the most beautiful. They have the high quality that she expects, but they are the prettiest. She can't go without her lavender oil that she mixes with some other things because it helps her sleep, and she needs her night rest. And without it, she says she can't sleep. So this gets her the rest that she desperately needs. And one thing about Scentsi's diffusers that she absolutely adores, and she knows the quality is there because it has a lifetime warranty. See, documentation beats conversation any day. And we not only have lifetime warranties on our diffusers. Let's say your warmer goes out and it won't come back on because the switch won't work. I don't care how long it is that you have it. I've replaced some that were 11 years old. Scentsy will replace it because we don't have a 2-year warranty. We don't have a 5-year warranty. We don't have a 10-year warranty. We have a lifetime warranty. We stand behind our products. Who else can say that? That tells you that the quality is there. That tells you that we stand behind it. Now I can keep telling you about the product, but we have something that is even more fantastic. We have a financial opportunity that has changed lives and helps families of over thousands of representatives worldwide. So, Scentsy is about lifestyle. What if I ask you, if money were no object, what would your life look like? Would you have a different house? Would you have a different vehicle? Would your kids have a better education? Would you have a retirement fund? Would you have security? Would you travel? Where would you travel to and how long would you go there? Would you give to charities? Would you help stop the sex trafficking? Or would you help the homeless? Or would you give to local animal shelters? What would your life look like if money were no object? Let me show you a way where you could get some of those things while helping people with their products. Can you read? Can you pass out a catalog? Can you work on a computer? If you've said yes to any of those, you're qualified. See, we have scripts and marketing materials that help market the products for you. 30,000 people a day are looking for a home-based business. And we have a simple profit plan. And with that plan, though, there is a little problem. Just like any profession where 6 figures are made, there is a skill set required. But here, unlike a doctor, you don't have to put 10 years in before you start seeing that 6 figures. And you don't have to put in $200,000 or more. And you don't have to give up your life. You don't have to spend 24/7 being on call and have no life. As well as a dentist. See, a dentist goes into debt and spends 8 years of their life in order to get a degree to practice on your mouth. not to mention an attorney. I mean, they may still make six figures and have better hours than, let's say, a doctor. See, with all of these professions and all of these people that make six figures, there's one thing that they have in common. They spend years and years and years to invest into their skills, to invest into their understanding and abilities, to be able to make that six-figure income and to be able to bring it in yearly. See, this is no different than those professions. However, there is a difference. And that difference is this. So, right here, you have an expert. And this expert here knows 100% of the information. And let's say this expert knows everything that it takes and has a proven track record to make six and seven-figure income earners. And let's say this expert has a track record that gets people there in record time. Okay. And this expert knows 100% to help others succeed. So, the average person retains 7 to 10% of what they see, read, or hear. I mean, on a good day, some days do you feel like you only get 3? Yeah, me too. But the average person is about 7 to 10. Einstein, who was a genius, retained 13%. But for the sake of this example, what I want you to do is think you're a super genius and you retain 50% of everything you see, read, or hear. There's nobody out there like that. But let's say for this example there is. And everybody around you and everybody you know retains 50% and they're super geniuses. Okay, so let's go here and let's say Tom comes in underneath this expert here. Okay, this is Tom. Tom is a super genius, and Tom gets 50% of what they're getting from the expert. So they're getting 50%. Tom comes here and enrolls Sally. Sally learns from Tom, and Sally is now getting 25%. So let's say Sally brings in Jeff, and Jeff learns from Sally. Jeff is now getting 12%. Now let's say Karen comes in here, and Karen gets 6. Let's go Steve here. Steve is now at 3%. Even though they're super geniuses and they get 50% of everything they see, read, and hear, he's only getting 3%. Now let's say Amy comes in here. Amy is now down to 1%. And here you come down. This is you. You're a super genius, but you're learning from somebody that has 1%. Can we say clueless? So, why am I telling you this? Because with the person that sent you here, you have access to the expert. Let me tell you about this expert. This expert started out homeless. Within a year, she earned $250,000. And within her second year, she was a millionaire. Since then, she has trained tens of thousands to become six-figure income earners or more. The expert is who you get to plug into when you enroll with the person that sent you here. There's not a lot of places that can plug you straight into the expert. A lot of the people have you training from people that don't have 100% of that. Here you get an opportunity to go straight plugging into the expert. So now you've heard about our products, and now you see that you get a chance to work with somebody that has a track record of teaching people how to get to those amazing incomes at record time. Let me tell you about some of our results with the representatives. Okay, let me tell you about Chloe. Actually, let me talk about Jess. Jess, she got started because one day she went to the store and realized she only had money to either buy formula for her baby or milk for her children. And she could only buy one. She ended up buying formula. She went home and she bawled. She just cried. She's like, what kind of failure am I as a mother not being able to provide for the children? I can't even get them the food they need. It just broke her heart and she was crying. And when her husband got home and he saw her crying, he asked her what was wrong and she said, we need to do something different. We can no longer do this. This is not an option. I can't choose between formula or milk. She had seen the opportunity with Scentsy like a month before or so, and she decided to take a step. The next month, they didn't pay one of their bills so that they could start the business. And guess what? Today, she lives in her dream home, and she no longer has to worry about what she puts in her grocery cart. She no longer has to worry about formula or milk. She now has the security that she would have never had without this opportunity. Let me tell you about Chloe. Chloe was a registered nurse, and it took a lot of her time. And she was going to be having a child, and she went to a Scentsy party, and she saw the opportunity. She said, oh, that would be neat, but I don't have time for it. And her husband said, you would be great at this, you should do it. So he went ahead and he got her the kits. She let it sit for a while, and then she said, I need to honor my husband and I need to actually try this. So she stepped out in faith and she tried it. She has earned trips to Greece, Africa, Europe, Disneyland, and many more places that she would have never went to without taking a step of faith. She didn't think she had the time, and she just did it anyway. I mean, she had a baby, and she worked as an RN. She's so thankful she does because she doesn't have the long hours working anymore. Let me tell you about Kim. Kim started the business just to pay a boat payment. She just wanted to pay a payment for her husband. He did so much for her. She's like, I just want to help him out. Well, she paid off that boat, and she kept going. And whenever her husband ended up losing his job, she was able to pay all the bills until he got another job. She's so thankful that she stayed there because they would have been in trouble after he lost his job. Let me tell you about Karen. Karen's so funny. School teacher. She loves high quality shoes. She has a shoe fetish. And she started Scentsy just to get a fancy pair of shoes every month. That was what her goal was, and that's what she does. So she makes enough to get a pair of shoes every month. She's been in it for a while, so she has a lot of shoes. So now she's going into getting some clothes now. So those are some of the people that represent us, and they're fun, and they're great people. So you can see that we have the company, and we have the proof that our products work and that we're not on trial. And we have a simple profit system that when people put them into place and they've learned the system, they earned a couple $100 amount to tens of thousands a month. And it's completely up to them what they want to put into it and what effort they want to put into it. And if they want to follow the instructions of the system that's in place already. However, there's still people out there that are like, I still don't know if it's for me. They're wondering whether or not it is for them. The bottom line is, some may think, well, I don't have the time. Well, if you don't have the time, think about it. It could be like Chloe, registered nurse, child. She's actually had another one since. Little babies. She didn't really have the time, but she figured she needed to carve out the time in order for her family to have the financial future, along with the time freedom down the road. So, being a registered nurse, there's long hours. You're away from your kids a lot. She wanted to be there for her babies. So she carved out time to find a way to do it. You could be somebody that's thinking, well, that's great, but I don't have the money. To be like Jess. Jess didn't have the money. If she would have stayed where she was, she would have continued having what she had. And that wasn't an option for her. Is it an option for you? Only you can answer these things. I can't. Or you could be somebody that thinks that's great, but it's not for me. If you're that type of person, you're like I was. It's like, okay, you can think that. And I thought that. But the bottom line was, I looked at these people's stories. I looked at other people's stories. And I saw that they succeeded. And I was like, I tried stuff before. See, when I started, I was like, if it doesn't work out, at least it's a tax write-off. See, the business is a tax write-off for 3 years, and I knew that coming into it. I said, so if I don't make it, I'm going to give it 3 years. I'm going to give it everything I got. If I don't make it, at least I have the tax write-off. So I came in there with like a failure mentality, like, okay, tax write-off, that's at least it, But I saw the chance. And I took the chance. See, we've all tried stuff before that we didn't know if it was going to work or not. How terrible would it be to not take a chance to see if it would work for you? So at this point, there are only 3 types of people. No matter what I say, there's only 3 types of people. I'm going to start with the third type of person. The third type of person is thanks, but no thanks. If it's not for you, I completely understand. If you've gone through this whole interview process and you don't feel it's for you, then it's not the place for you, and that's great. And I thank you for being here, and I thank you for your time, and I thank you for respecting us and honoring us by listening to the whole presentation. If you're the number 2 type person, you're the type of person that's like, yeah, it sounds great, but I need to think about it. If you're that I need to think about a person, that's great. Again, I completely understand. Think about it. You need to talk to your cat, your dog, your spouse, whoever. Think about it. However, if you are truly a think about a person, we have a think it over kit. Because if you are truly going to think it over, you need to know how our products are and if you like them. So we have a think it over kit. So get with the person that invited you here to get that kit and to really see how you respond to the product and how well it works. Because how well it works for you is going to tell you everything. Or you could be the first type of person. And this is the type of person we're looking for. You're the type of person that says, I see it, I want it, and I want it now. You're the type of person that saw those stories and you said, you know what? I'm going to be the next story. I'm not going to live the life I'm living right now. I want a different life. And if that's you, get back to the person that invited you here. And don't waste any time. Get started, and let's get your training started right away so that we can get the money in your bank right away. We don't want to delay on that. Other than that, I just want to thank you, and I want to say I appreciate you. And no matter which level you get into, get back to the person and let them know if you're a 3, a 2, or a 1. I can't wait to work with you.